Welcome friends. Today we are going to discuss about noise and vibration. In this lecture we are going to discuss introduction to noise and its subjective response.
In day-to-day life, we listen various sounds. Out of that, some we call it as music and some we call it as noise. So the sound which is pleasant, that is called as music, and the sound which irritates human, it is called as noise. So sound may be described as a disturbance that propagates through a physical medium. That physical medium has to be elastic acoustic medium. It may be a solid, liquid or gaseous. This sound wave propagates as a longitudinal wave in which particles of medium oscillates parallel to the direction of propagation. So the sound wave is created by vibrating the object. In this diagram you can see a red diaphragm is moving forward and backward. The molecules transmitting the wave oscillates back and forth about its equilibrium position in the direction of propagation of the wave. Because of this, alternate regions of compression and rarefaction produced in air. So sound is a pressure oscillation in the air which radiates away from the source. When these waves impinge on eardrum, that is strikes on eardrum, the resulting physiological response in human auditory system is described as sound. The sound pressure is the incremental variation about the ambient atmospheric pressure. See how this sound can be generated by generating a pressurized compression and rarefactions here. So one diaphragm is moving to and fro continuously and it creates a regions of compression and rarefaction. So sound get propagated in one direction, in the same direction that particles has to propagate. So for transmission of sound there is a need of particle. So without any medium sound cannot be transmitted. In study of sound we have to consider subjective response as well as objective response of human being to sound. Objective response we will discuss in next video. Subjective response we are going to discuss. It is a response primarily measured by direct human opinion. As humans liking and disliking are different, the subjective response also may be different. It may be a music for some or it may be noise for some. So this music and noise, it is a sound that can be measured with some standard instruments like microphone, frequency analyzer, oscilloscope, sound level meter, and there are more instruments. So all these instruments record the sound and may give result in terms of some parameters Those parameters are frequency, power, pressure level, and time duration. These measures of sound characteristics do not give much indication of how a human being would respond to noise source, as our perception of noise is a subjective phenomenon. The subjective response is a key factor in noise control because all complaints are expected from human being. So these complaints are like loss of sleep, physiological or psychological disturbance. There may be loss of efficiency or there may be loss of hearing. So these type of complaints are coming from human being while listening noise for some more time. So this sound wave is characterized by its pitch, loudness and tone quality. The pitch is function of frequency. Also, pitch depends upon intensity of sound as well as various waveforms of the sound. The pitch increases with increase in frequency and decreases with decrease in frequency. The second characteristic is loudness. Loudness is primarily depends on the intensity of the sound in a logarithmic way. Means for a small change in intensity of sound, there is a big change in loudness. This loudness also governed by a frequency of the sound. The third element is the tone quality. This tone quality, we call it as pure tone when a sound of single frequency is available. With increase in complexity of waveform, there is a decrease in tone quality. While dealing with human response to sound, it is inconvenient to ask people their opinion every time. We are required to judge the acceptability of sound. Since people are different, we can never rely on a few opinions on noisiness in order to judge its acceptability. People may have acute hearing or simply be biased. It is not practical either to evaluate acceptability of each noise source. That source may be a stationary or mobile. To answer these questions, to whether or not each physically measured sound exposure is acceptable, a psychoacoustic experiment is carried out in laboratory as well as some social surveys are carried out in real life. Both the activities are aimed at finding out what characteristics of sound and try to relate them quantitatively. The efforts are directed to seek relationship between physical stimuli and our subjective response to them.
For this group we need to choose a group of people carefully, so we can represent them for acceptability of the sound. So this way there is need of making relationship between subjective and objective response of sound. In next video we will discuss objective response of human being to sound.